If I start solving problems in the context of unconnectedness, my solutions will have that same quality. And this is what we've got. We have a culture that wants to mandate the future, that wants to keep the stranger out, that cares about policy and law and all of that. Those are solutions from unconnected people. That's all. They're not bad people. They just isolate. So you're saying no matter how we came together, we need to get connected. And we don't do this. Even the church. You know, there's no more welcoming buildings in the city than churches. And I know that. And you go up there, they're happy to see it, and you say, oh, good, I found a place where I belong. But then as soon as you walk in, it's all over. There's a little lined up pews, and lay over the floor. If you want any movement in this room, we'd have to bring tools with us. Bandsaws. And I've got a bandsaw. And so, connects, so that's the thought. So these are social structures. They also are ways of renegotiating whose room is this. So in the beginning of the day, you say, well, the people that invite us here and who are speaking, it's their room. And when you first sit down and I get introduced or whatever, you say, well, what does he have in mind for us? So that's a social contract that I want to renegotiate. Instead of what does they have in mind for us, you say, well, what do we come here to produce? And so this little structure of find two other people, don't wait to be chosen, don't be helpful and support each other, is renegotiating a social contract about who owns this place. The room today, the neighborhood, the community tomorrow. That's the thought. So it seems like a small little structure, but it's huge because it's renegotiating where choice resides. And so community services doesn't renegotiate where choice resides. It just produces loving acts. Community building has at its core, we're going to change who's choosing. All right? In a consumer society, I don't have a chance to do that, so that's the thought. Here's the question. So the task of leadership to me is social architect. Forget about role model, all right? Forget about having a vision. Forget about having a vision and enrolling people in the vision. Enrollment makes me nervous. Every client I ever had when I was consulting said, how do we get those people on board? And I always thought, what makes you think you're in the boat? So these are structures that are reconstructed where choice resides, where connection is given priority, where the stranger is welcome. Got it? So here's the question. I'd like to ask you to share with each other what's the crossroads you're at this stage of the game. And I love this question because it poses life as complicated. Anybody who tells me life is simple, life is going to the North Star, you know, the Northeast, give me a break. Some people say, oh, I love my life, I have no regrets. And I always think, are you watching? Crossroads carries within it the notion that you're always living a choiceful existence. And in the naming of the choice, that's how I assert my humanity. That patriarchy, control, straight lines, all the social structures we're so used to, all right, steal our humanity. We're doing it to our children because we turn them from learners to performers. And now parenting is one large period of anxiety. As soon as the kid is born, I need coaches for SAT, I need training coaches. My grandchildren are the most trained and coached people in the history of the world. And my daughter, but mostly, runs a transportation and booking service. So the question, crossroads, is an honoring question. It says, no matter how, now some of you may say, I'm not at a crossroads. My life is just where I want it. If that's the case, then you should thank God, because this too shall pass. So take about 5-6 minutes each, take about 20 minutes. The other thing you might want to do here is also reflect on the experience of being here. Because the crossroads conversation creates space for intention. something that you have in mind for yourself. All right, so you might say, well, if I've been here today so far, or if I was here yesterday, what's the meaning that it has for me? So you don't ask people, what are you doing? You ask people, what does that mean to you? Got it? So do that now. Take some time. Don't be helpful. Okay? If you really want to be helpful, go to the restroom. These are little tips, okay? Look in the mirror and shout out your help with all your might. All right? Or get out your cell phone and call somebody because they're not going to be there anyhow. And come back and say, why does it matter? What's at stake? I just want to know what you're up to. Okay, so do this now. Practice it to understand. Crossroads.